Would the class of 2014 please be seated? Good afternoon, and welcome to Council Rock High School North's graduation for the class of 2014. At this time, would everyone please rise and join me for the singing of our national anthem, which will be followed by a moment of silence.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free air and the home of the brave?
Okay, be seated, please. I'm Susan McCarthy, principal of Council Rock High School North. I would like to begin our program by thanking Mr. Jared Williams and the member of the choir ensemble. The people on this stage with me this afternoon include Mr. Mark Klein, Superintendent of Schools, as well as members of the Council Rock Board of School Directors, President Ms. Wendy Thomas, Vice President Mr. Andy Block, Mr. Richard Abramson, Ms. Denise Brooks, Mr. Mark Bilick, Mr. Gerald Grupp, and Ms. Kyle McKessie. Soon to be joining me on stage will be Ms. Mia Serafine, Class President, followed by Ms. Alyssa Epstein and Ms. Jennifer Kulfluski, student speakers. In addition, I'm very happy to welcome members of the faculty of Council Rock High School North, who I would like to personally thank, having witnessed firsthand their great efforts to prepare our graduates to experience the great successes that they deserve. I also welcome faculty members from our elementary and middle sending schools, including Goodnoe, Newtown, Richboro, Saul Finestone, Maureen M. Welch, and Wrightstown elementary schools, as well as Newtown and Richboro middle schools. By including educators of all levels in our ceremony, we recognize that no student will reach graduation day unless there is a strong educational foundation upon which to build. This afternoon, I therefore welcome parents, guardians, grandparents, relatives, friends, faculty past and present, administrators, school board members, and graduates to Council Rock High School North's graduation ceremony for the class of 2014, the 12th class to be graduating from Council Rock High School North. Standing before you are 508 young men and women who have achieved graduate status at Council Rock North. Although they have earned the necessary credits to be graduating this afternoon, they have accomplished so much more. Within this class are students who have been recognized locally, statewide, and nationally for achievement in academics, athletics, the visual and performing arts, and community service. Under the guidance of our high school faculty, they have successfully met all of the challenges presented to them. The students in the class of 2014 have individually and collectively enhanced Council Rock High School North's reputation for excellence and established positive direction for the future classes of our high school. In particular, this is a class that enjoys the distinction of having 13 distinguished scholars and 38 scholars. To parents and guardians of our students, I would like to recognize the essential support that you have provided to your son or daughter with graduation as the culminating event. This afternoon, we at Council Rock North share your pride in honoring these young men and women in this rite of passage to adulthood. Now, to recognize each member of Council Rock North's graduating class of 2014, I would like to introduce Mr. Don Foster, Social Studies teacher, and Ms. Diana Morris-Bauer, English Department Coordinator and teacher.
The distinguished scholars for the class of 2014. Clarissa Ann Allen. Sarah Catherine Gift. Marshall Novak Gordon. Brittany Samantha Lee. Ritesh Mishra. Hannah Elizabeth Mumber. Matthew Brian Pine. Daniel Joseph Pomerantz. Madison Darby Schenker. Laura Eva Silverberg. Zachary Benjamin Smithline. Jessica Gail Stoltz. Yinzi Zin.
Officers of the class of 2014. Mia Cecilia Serafine, class president and graduation speaker. Michael Robert Loftus, class vice president. Rohan Mehul Patel, class treasurer. Amanda Rachel Green, class secretary. Sumita Telekat, class public relations. Samantha Carly Galing, assistant to the advisor. Abigail Christine Shukin, assistant to the advisor. Michael J. Wu, assistant to the advisor. Jolie Ray House, student executive board president. Brittany Lynn Weldy, student executive board public relations. Laura Ann Kwasnowski, student executive board senior committee member. Alyssa S. Epstein, graduation speaker. Jennifer Barbara Kaflewski, graduation speaker. The class of 2014, Lauren C. Ackerman.
Robin Melissa Lashow.
Mary Rose Aquari.
Carly Jane Lakovich.
Deanna Agayev.
Nithya Lakshmarayanan.
Raphael D. Agayev.
Yanni J. Lambros.
Dana Marie Agger.
Joshua David Langer.
Toyosi O. Alamajaya.
Gregory A. La Rosa.
Timothy Andrew Ambacher.
Hannah Lynn Lawler.
Olivia Grace Anderson.
Victoria Suzanne Lanus.
Jamie Lynn Anhalt.
Alexander Bryce Lean.
Margaret Mary Appert.
Aiden Patrick LeClaire.
David Alex Augustine.
Alexander Armstrong Leader.
Thet Now So Aung.
Brennan Thomas Light.
Cody Lamar Air.
Rachel Emily Lamonic.
Savannah Faye Bancroft.
Yana Marie Lenart.
Rachel Kayanne Barlow.
Martin Allen Leonard.
Paul Edward Barlin.
Daniel J. Levayan.
Russell William Bauer.
David Stewart Levy.
Bianca Bavarella.
Christopher Gregory Lewis.
Maddox Jude Belinsky.
Brianna Nicole Lind.
Garrett Morgan Bell.
Alyssa Marie Lynn.
Juliana K. Bell.
Jacqueline Sarah Liss.
Jordan Alexa Bentz.
Justin P. Logan.
Grace Catherine Barashon.
Scott Christopher Longmire Jr.
Ariel Bari Burke.
Evanice Charlie Lopez.
Jacqueline Mira Bernstein.
Kristen Davidson Lovely.
Lee Ann Bertolette.
Kelsey Elizabeth Lucerne.
Andrew David Berry.
Rebecca Christine Luff.
Matthew David Bayan.
Joseph A. Lynch.
Kelsey Lynn Schuyler Biddulph.
Mark Andrew Lind.
Catherine Mary Biggs.
Michael Werner Lennon.
Bailey Elizabeth Bigler.
Thomas Richard Lennon.
Anthony Beletsky.
Joshua Scott Lyons.
Melinda Carol Berkey.
Edward William Mackin III.
Seamus Michael Bischoff.
Erica Nicole Maddox.
Jenna Noel Blackstone.
Robert Tyler Madison.
Clifton Michael Blackwood.
Faria Malik.
Melissa Allison Blyman.
Kelsey Angel Mallon.
Clay M. Blumenthal.
Michael J. Mancini.
Devin Lynn Bohm.
Dimitri S. Marinich.
Daniel Stort Borochainer.
Anthony David Marino.
Alexandra Kathleen Bovino.
Helen Ann Marte.
Rihanna Lynn Bracey.
Dewan J. Martin.
Erica Lee Brandberg.
Maggie Radwell May.
Alyssa Nicole Briner.
Cal McAuliffe.
Rebecca Cameron Brill.
Brandon Michael McCready.
Olivia Alice Brooks.
Morgan Mary McDermott.
Kristen Elizabeth Brick.
Mary Caitlin McDevitt.
Anna Elizabeth Budney.
Brendan James McGuigan.
Catherine Budney.
Christopher Joseph McLaughlin.
Sarah Lydia Butler.
Sean Patrick McLean.
Lindsay Nicole Buttle.
Devin Marie McNamee.
Joseph Peter Calabeo.
Joshua Brian McWilliams.
Courtney Marie Callie.
Sean David Mira.
Tyler Stevens Callender.
Stephanie Gutierrez Medina.
Emily Campanelli.
Jillian Grace Meehan.
Taylor May Campbell.
Anuj Mayer Mehta.
Danielle Brooke Capaldi.
Skylar Rose Melsky.
Andrew Wolfson Cardelia.
Brandon Ross Meltzer.
Michael Joseph Carter.
David Primo Mickelin.
Callie J. Cassiani.
Amy Q. Mickle.
Alexander Kazumasa Kobe.
Lauren A. Milano.
Jacob A. Cerami.
Brandon Calvert Miller.
Ash Chauthry.
Brett Austin Miller.
Alan Evan Chebin.
Callie Sophia Morales.
Eric Chen.
Ryan James Mitchell.
Samantha Aileen Gallagher Chubb.
Matthew R. Muller.
Aram Iqbal Chugte.
Megan Ann Mooney.
Joshua Akeem Clark.
Brooke Jenna Moore.
Matthew John Cleary Jr.
Lindsay Marie Morrissey.
Jason Dylan Klibanoff.
Emily Jane Morton.
Brian Americus Cochetti.
Tala Morabet.
Dean A. Cohen.
Matthew W. Muldoon.
Harley Ruby Cohen.
Jessica Helene Nager.
Brianna Teresa Colombo.
Stephen Thomas Nagel.
James E. Condon Jr.
Rachel Grace Nelson.
Mark Daniel Connor.
Victoria E. Nielsen.
Caitlin Kimberly Coolidge.
Genevieve A. O'Brien.
Angelina Y. Costello.
Caitlin E. O'Connell.
Kimberly Joy Kugel.
Erin Christine O'Donnell.
Erin Marie Cummings.
Jesse Lee O'Neill.
Molly Ann Cutcliffe.
Julia Elizabeth Alexek.
Nolan T. DeLara.
Michael Anthony Oliano.
Autumn Hannah Victoria Dang.
Sean Edward Orr.
Avery Nicole Davidson.
Luke Samuel Orzakowski.
Rebecca Sophie Dearden.
Shane Michael O'Shea.
Kelsey Lynn Deegan.
Evan James Ozeroff.
Joseph Andreas DeFinis.
Nunzia Polino.
Michael Harrison DeFranco.
Robert Chase Palmer.
Anne Elizabeth Deese.
Melanie K. Pang.
Megan Elizabeth Del Bianco.
Dhruv S. Patel.
Nicole Marie Dell.
Raj C. Patel.
Maria Lynn DeLuca.
Alexander Joseph Patton.
Cara Carmela DeLucia.
Tyler Harris Perlman.
Megan Grace DeLucia.
Corey Robin Pikuch.
Brianna Lynn DeMarco.
Christopher D. Peplow.
Richard Alexander DePaula III.
Daniel Robert Perez.
Nikolai Stephen Derrick.
Paul Stephen Perlova.
Anand M. Desai.
Olivia Marie Peterson.
Tomlin Elizabeth DeLeon.
Anthony Rocco Petruccio.
Kay Grace DiPentino.
Mia Cecilia Piacentino.
Catherine Jane Dix.
Alexandra Jane Piora.
Alyssa Ruth Dawkins.
Alex Robert Plichta.
Christopher Dodson.
Rachel Danielle Politic.
James Russell Dawlings.
Joseph William Pomeroy.
Tyler Dean Donaghy.
Jared C. Ponzio.
William Michael Donnell.
Jacob Z. Papaskayou.
Alyssa Rose Dooner.
Bradley T. Porto.
Nathan Louis Jerome Dorfman.
Jeffrey Paul Patoka Jr.
Daniel Dubavoy.
Catherine Lindsay Prell.
John Michael Dugan.
Patrick Thomas Prophy.
Kevin Patrick Dunn.
Megan F. Quinlan.
Dean William Dupree.
Natalie Eve Racosta.
Stephanie Kate Durkin.
Ree Miguel Raimundo.
James Thomas Dutrow.
Alexander Scott Rakestraw.
Mark P. Dwyer.
Ashley Elizabeth Redless.
Andrew L. E.
Lydia Mary Redman.
Joseph C. Early.
Matthew James Rank.
Connor James Eby.
Devin Juliana Riggs.
Bonnie Page Edelman.
Abigail E. Riley.
Sarah Elizabeth Ergot.
Carly Robbins.
Joseph Robert Ike Jr.
Deanna Ray Roll.
Ronald Peter Emmy II.
Benjamin David Rogers.
Nicole Maria Ender.
Hannah Beth Rogers.
Christine Ann Engelhardt.
Pierce Hanson Raleigh.
Jacob E. Epstein.
Lindsay Hope Roseman.
Brennan Taylor Erlinson.
Samantha Ariel Rosenfeld.
Eric C. Etor.
Lauren Taylor Rossi.
Samantha Morgan Evans.
Noah Jade Rothstein.
Elizabeth Ann Fonstock.
Christopher Kevin Rowland.
Emily Rose Falcone.
Danielle Astrid Ruff.
Marissa Kimberly Fanini.
David Casey Ranowski.
Edmund Justin Fannin.
Rachel Michelle Ruth.
Abby Lee Feldscher.
Zachary Blair Sable.
Brian Robert Fay.
Ruben A. Saldana.
Heather Jill Fink.
Eric M. Saltiski.
Jennifer Jacqueline Fink.
Rebecca Marie Sampson.
Ethan P. Fisher.
Shirley Elizabeth Sampson.
Joshua P. Fisher.
Robert William Sanchez.
Nathan Charles Fisher.
Jordan Michael Sander.
Brett Samuel Fischler.
Robert Mario Sargente.
Desiree N. Fisk.
Brianna Marie Savard.
Emily Ann Fitzgerald.
Matthew Joseph Scaramazino.
John Brian Fitzpatrick.
Chloe Marie Shade.
Lauren Aubrey Fitzpatrick.
Danielle Lee Schechter.
Emily Brooke Fleisch.
Edward Jordan Scheinlin.
Lindsay E. Fleming.
Casey Allison Schmauder.
Mary Kathleen Flory.
Avery Elise Schnell.
Laura Morgan Floyd.
David M. Schnitzer.
Leah Marie Frank.
Andrew Patterson Schnorr.
Allison Leanne Frick.
Lauren Meredith Shore.
Austin Allen Fugelstad.
Marina Elizabeth Schreiner.
Julia Rose Galelli.
Dylan J. Shore.
Lindsay Sloan Gansman.
Emily Nicole Scott.
Gabriella Ann Gartner.
Daniel Roger Sharp Jr.
Walter Paul Gadzik.
Preston Christopher Shea.
Michael Joseph Gerzitz.
Shayna Carly Schickoff.
James M. Gemmel.
Elizabeth Karen Shikrala.
Felix Lane Gershbane.
Chad M. Siegel.
Megan Ann Gibson.
Miranda Marie Seeger.
Patrick Joseph Gillespie Jr.
Miranda Christine Sill.
Adam R. Gerdica.
Robert Michael Simmons.
Ross Farron Goldman.
Anne Marie Skinner.
Caitlin Y. Gomez.
Philip William Skinner.
Benjamin Blake Goodman.
Jordan Richard Slavchev.
Madison Lee Guza.
Joseph John Slivka.
Andrew Scott Grace.
Alexander Cleva Smith.
Julia Helen Graham.
Delaney Page Smith.
Lucas S. Gray.
Addison Michelle Smithick.
Joshua Neal Green.
Bradley Moran Solorzano.
Alexander Ethan Greenberg.
Daniel B. Solotaroff.
Ryan Scott Greenberg.
Isaiah B. Solotaroff.
Kayla Victoria Gresson.
Kyung Jun Sun.
John M. Grosso.
Ian Warren Spahn.
Brian Enzo Guadalpi.
Richard John Speeney Jr.
Natalie Ellen Guarna.
Sotiri Harry Sperdeus.
Michael Gumino.
Sophia Elizabeth May Sproul.
Alexis Nicole Haberkern.
David William Stark.
Jacob Scott Habla.
David Isaac Stern.
Catherine Anna Hazemeyer.
Isaac Joseph Strauss.
Sean Jacob Hakim.
Zachary Chandler Strauss.
Sujung Crystal Han.
Joanna Stryzak.
Matthew Mark Hansen II.
Kyle Sullivan.
Tyler August Harris.
Joseph Anthony Zarco Jr.
Grace Helene Hartman.
Cheng Tarng.
Nicholas Armstrong Hartwell.
Madeline Alexander Tate.
Henry Andrew Haug.
Drew Thomas.
Alexis Mariah Hawthorne.
Justin Thompson.
Courtney Samantha Hayes.
Stephen D. Thompson.
Kaylin Spencer Heineke.
Kathleen Lynn Thompson.
Brandon M. Henry.
Dylan Michael Thorpe.
Stephanie Rachel Herman.
Frank Vladimir Kachenko.
Erica Marie Herr.
James Michael Tui.
Irina M. Hewitt Galatanova.
Luke Nicholas Toasty.
Allison Britton Hill.
Ronald Jenkins Treese.
Anthony Clement Hipple Jr.
Juliet Tulik.
Brian Matthew Hoffman.
Michelle Tulik.
Matthew Brian Holland.
Aiden Valentine Tully.
Samuel Brandon Horrible.
Christopher Joseph Ugrass.
Danielle Nicole Janizek.
Marissa Marie Ewer.
Shannon Darby Jennerjohn.
Amanda A. Ung.
Jacqueline Bianca Jimenez.
Kaylee Dawn Unger.
Kevin Yu Jin.
Zachary Victor Uritsky.
Jason John.
Emmeline H. Vale.
Quinn Anthony Johnson.
Andrew Joseph Van Thine.
Rebecca Morgan Johnson.
Nicole Ann Van Thine.
Julianne M. Jones.
Evan R. Vanderwendy.
Kevin Herbert Jonovich.
Alyssa Felicia Marie Vani.
Nicholas McKeon Jordan.
Alexa M. Vecchione.
Ryan Joseph Judge.
Tori Lynn Viola.
Dylan J. Calaman.
Jessica Summer Vutsinis.
Christina Lucen Kaplan.
Capri Ann Wagner.
Ajay Kapoor.
Robert Dean Walter.
Achia Tarun Karanam.
Raina Wang.
Polina Karlova.
Jeffrey Watson.
Colin Michael Kashak.
Jake Wiener.
Kylie Madison Kausch.
Zachary L. Wiener.
Alexandra Jane Keller.
Matthew T. Weir.
Kate Eileen Keller.
Ryan Douglas Wells.
Tatum Gabrielle Kelly.
Daniel George Whitney.
Megan Elizabeth Kennedy.
Tristan Jean Vikshorik.
Casey Joelle Kirak.
David Wilczynski.
Rebecca Veronica Kammermesh.
Samantha Jamie Wilkins.
Emily Page Keysweater.
Joshua James Williams.
David Kim.
Mary Alice Williams.
Gabriella J. Kim.
Ross Andrew Wilson.
Evan Stewart King.
William Jeffrey Wishing.
Raphael A. Klur.
Kayla E. Wolf.
Taylor N. Klebon.
Melanie Carol Wolferts.
Jack Milligan.
Lillian Louise Wright.
Emma Louise Kobiluk.
Julia M. Yim.
Thomas P. Kobiluk.
Caitlin Marie Yost.
Justin Isaiah Coyne.
Benjamin B. Young.
Nicholas Craig Kolbman.
Naji M. Youssef.
William Mark Konowaluk.
Simon Yu.
Olivia Grace Kosla.
Ellis M. Zaritsky.
Robin Aloysius Kovac.
Hannah Gussin Zinker.
Roman Zachary Kozakov.
Leah Gussin Zinker.
Alan Mark Kramerov.
Matthew L. Zippin.
Samuel Allen Crow. Marquetta Elizabeth Evelyn Cruz. Carly Ellen Creasa. Anastasia Sherry Maria Kolchitsky. Andrew O. Kwan.
Would the class of 2014 please stand and be recognized? this time, please continue standing and join us in singing Council Rock's Alma Mater, led by Council Rock High School North's Choir Ensemble. Okay, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Mia Serafine, class of 2014 president, whose speech is entitled We.
We all started off as an I. I am Mia Serafine. I go to Council Rock North. I am a freshman. I'm trying out for a freshman sports team. I'm nervous I won't be able to find my classes. I need my parents to drive me to school. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I ride the bus. I am lost in this big school. Yet, as each of us experience these events and emotions as individuals, we experience them alongside of our classmates. These concerns were ours. We slowly began to change our mindset from an I to an our, and began to work as one, starting with joining together for our first blue and white night. We then realized that instant feeling of acceptance and belonging when our grade came together and got involved. At that point, we no longer felt like lonely individuals in this great big school. We were able to recognize that we were in it together. Once our class adjusted to high school and its continuous fast-paced rhythm, we began to familiarize ourselves with a phenomenon we were yet to be accustomed to: freedom. For most of us, as our grade level increased, so did our curfew. Household rules loosened, and parents and family members no longer told us what to get involved in and what we had to do. Our class had the choice to be involved in whatever we had a passion for. Much like now, as we progress to the future, we are entering the world and given the freedom to be whatever we want to be. It is our time to adventure, travel the world, immerse ourselves in new cultures, exceed norms we've learned in a classroom, and begin to experience life. As we travel out into the world, we will experience new things and gain a new outlook on life. It is our time to find our true likes and dislikes. It is our time to go out and accomplish what we are passionate about. Until just a few moments ago, we were all high school students. But now we find ourselves here at graduation, focusing on our future. We begin to realize our goals are very similar to one another, and our paths are all too the same. Although our journey together has come to an end, the hundreds of I's we identified ourselves with in the beginning of our time at Council Rock North have transitioned to a we. We have begun to set our eyes on the future. We have witnessed each other mature, grow, and have observed the potential in all of us to succeed on each of our chosen paths. When asked how to describe our grade, I couldn't think of just one word, because there isn't just one word that would suffice. Each and every single person sitting in front of me is what makes up our class. We are humorous, intelligent, clever, caring. I could go on. All of you, too, could look at your beloved graduates, your friend, sibling, child, niece, nephew, or grandchild in this 2014 graduating class and think, sure, he or she is great. However, when observing all of us together and all that we have to offer to the world, we are extraordinary. As we go out into the world and begin to become an I again and focus on the fact that I have to go off to college, I have to study, I have to choose my career, I even have to get up and go to work, I have to fall in love, I have to get married, I have to change the world. Remember, class of 2014, we are never alone. Right now, all of us are a we, and we will forever be Council Rock North 2014 alumni together. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next student speaker is Ms. Alyssa Epstein, whose speech is entitled Movie Moments.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Sorry, this is a wrong speech. Okay, let me just see what I got. In a galaxy far, far away, Hakuna Matata. Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention. No, okay, got it. We are good. This is it, guys. This is our moment, our movie moment. This is the last time all of us will be together. I remember back when I was in elementary school, we had a huge assembly. What it was about, I couldn't even begin to tell you. However, I do remember one small detail, a detail that others around me may have thought so minuscule, so trivial, they probably just passed it off. But for me, something stuck. As our principal began talking, he referred to us little elementary schoolers as the class of 2014. We were in elementary school, and to think about graduation, well, you might as well have been talking light years away. But sure enough, time passed, and we became sixth graders. We ruled the school. This brought another assembly. Our teachers started talking to us about high school life. I remember thinking that they were crazy. I mean, we weren't even in middle school yet, and they were talking about the big, scary high school. But wouldn't you know it, a short time passed, along with some awkward stages, and we became high schoolers. Now, probably like many of my peers here today, on the first day of high school, I was a complete wreck. And just like all the other times, we had an assembly. At the end of the assembly, our homeroom teachers left one by one, we little ninth graders nervously trailing behind them. And that was it. The scary place we had heard about for years just let us in. There was no movie moment, no weird ritual of allowing the freshmen in. And since then, no one, at least not to my knowledge, has ever gotten pushed into a locker. A glee club has never simultaneously burst into an unrehearsed song, and I don't think there's been a petition going around to save Ferris Bueller. And now, here we are. We sped through grade school and high school and are left with our futures staring blankly in our faces. We have wished and begged for this day to come. There are no more vocab tests, no more 6 a.m. alarms, and no more shivering and shaking in 30-degree weather because we didn't bring out our jackets for a fire drill. But with that comes no more bonus point homework coupons, no more teachers saying hi to you in the hallways, and no more seeing the same kids you've known and grown up with since kindergarten. We sped through everything. But here, right now, this is our moment, our epic film moment, the one we will look back on for years to come. It's our movie moment. We just need to remember that life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last speaker is Ms. Jennifer Koflewski, whose speech is entitled, "Don't Stop Believing."
Good afternoon, parents, faculty, administrators, and most importantly, class of 2014. Woo! It is truly an honor to represent a class of talented, beaming, and highly motivated individuals I am lucky to call my own classmates and dear friends. I want to say congratulations because we have all grown up from those awkward, brace-faced, timid freshman days. We spent fidgeting with locker combination and finding those pesky back crossovers and mirrors. And we have now turned into lethargic zombies fueled by endless supplies of caffeine and 5-hour energies. Let these memories sink in. Remind us of the good times we hold and cherish. Never wipe the smile off your face as we reminisce about these unforgettable memories. It is hard to believe that just 4 years ago, we were just entering high school, riding the school bus, and seeing the orange pom-poms welcoming us. We wondered why everyone was so excited and peppy. I mean, I was disappointed by the fact that despite popular teenager movies like High School Musical, students in fact do not randomly burst into song and dance to express their true feelings in the hallways. But then we truly explored what it meant to be a student at North. So many clubs, so many sports, so many honor societies, all led to cherished friendships and lasting relationships built with the foundation of trust and communal joy. We are standing here today filled with pride, and there are so many thanks to be given for this moment right now. First of all, I would like to thank all of our parents, for without their undying love and support, we would not be here today. The help and support we receive from them motivates us to keep trying, to never give up, to give a solid effort, to be our very best, and to shine in our own respective lights. But keep in mind, parents, just because we're graduating and ending our high school career does not mean the end of our financial dependency. I would also like to thank the internet, for without it, I would not be standing here today. Thank you, Google, Facebook, Wikipedia, and of course, Microsoft Word for randomly deleting papers at 12 o'clock at night. Thank you. I would also like to thank the entire faculty for guiding all of us to discover our true passions and talents. And also, thank you to North for teaching us 4 important life lessons. Number 1, time management. How to balance important things like homework and other important things like Netflix. 2, how to properly finish all of our homework the night before. Number 3, to never ever stick your hand under a desk or chair here. Like, seriously. And number 4, how we will cherish all the friendships that have come from all of our memories, ranging from Spanish class to painting a mural. We have all accomplished a multitude of achievements. Whether we are continuing future education, joining the military, starting a job, or just taking a year to travel, we will all be successful. Success is not determined by monetary earnings or by the number of A's on a report card. Success is making each minute in our life count, using our talents to thrive in our own individual ways. To quote a wise snowman, Olaf, from Frozen, some people are worth melting for, and I can honestly say, class of 2014, you are all worth melting for. Because we have all accomplished so much, and we will accomplish so much more in the future. A bright future rests ahead for everyone, but there will be times when we struggle. But keep in mind that the world does not judge us by the number of times we fail and fall, but by the number of times we get back up and push through the challenges and difficulties of life. Jennifer Lawrence did not stay down at the Oscars when she fell. She got right back up, and she even laughed at herself. I actually almost tripped coming up getting my diploma, so. There will be times when we face our Jennifer Lawrence moments of weakness, but we will just as easily stand up. To quote a song I think that greatly applies to this occasion, "Don't Stop Believing," some will win, some will lose. But we should not be discouraged. So, class of 2014, we sit here today, diplomas in hand, the epitome of our cherished memories and our hard work. All those times we persevered and worked hard, those late nights spent in the library studying, those hours spent making a difference in someone's lives by volunteering, those times we counted down until 2:15, those times we spent with our friends, those times we spent wondering when high school would finally end, now comes down to this. Relentless pursuit, academic excellence, and motivated dedication are just some of the many words I can proudly use to describe our class. It is without a doubt I say that we have all truly excelled and have successful futures ahead of us. Before I end, I'd like to conclude with words of wisdom. Don't ever stop believing. Hold on to that feeling, because we are finally graduating high school, and we will cherish these moments forever. Thank you.
Thank you. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Mark Klein, Council Rock School District Superintendent of Schools.
Congratulations to the class of 2014. This winter, or this year, you can call me Chief Meteorologist too for the Council Rock School District. I guess it was fitting in a year that was marked by many weather-related events that we were going to have one at graduation too. But I thank you very much for your cooperation, patience, and for sitting through the week formerly known as spring break so that we could get this graduation in. My task today is just to certify to the board president, Mrs. Wendy Thomas, that the class of 2014 have met all of the requirements as set forth by the Council Rock School District and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Mrs. Thomas.
Having met the requirements as set forth by the Board of School Directors of Council Rock School District and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon each of you a diploma recognizing your graduate status. Please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. I now pronounce you graduates of Council Rock High School North.
Before concluding, I would like to highlight two people who've worked very closely with the class of 2014, Mr. Daniel Griesbaum, Senior Class Principal, and Mr. David Boyle, Senior Class Advisor. This concludes the graduation ceremony for Council Rock High School North, class of 2014.
Remember, class of 2014, we are never alone. Right now, all of us are a we, and we will forever be Council Rock North 2014 alumni together. Thank you.
But here, right now, this is our moment, our epic film moment, the one we will look back on for years to come. It's our movie moment. We just need to remember that life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Thank you.
Don't ever stop believing. Hold on to that feeling, because we are finally graduating high school, and we will cherish these moments forever. Thank you.
Please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. I now pronounce you graduates of Council Rock